needed to make this video because, I don't know who's in charge, who has the power of attorney over my mother, but I wanted to say because I have never explained this enough how disgusting Sarah Cooper was and Ken Cooper was to my mother growing up as a child. They didn't visit us. There was nothing polite. There was no. This person was a worthless bitch to my mother, and it followed on after my father's death. Sarah Cooper laughing at the funeral, out loud. Frankie being the victim of rapes as Miguel was sitting right behind Sarah Cooper, as she was so-called trying to turn her tables on me, and because they had never had said anything about the rapes and protected Frankie. So the resident here is named Tina. Filipino person is now making a mockery of Sarah Cooper and trying to transform and change the story about what this person's identity was. So what this person is doing is they're walking into the house, and they know all the details about how Sarah Cooper was threatening my mother over the phone and over the phone with Frankie. So what this person is trying to do is trying to identify that the aggression was made to protect me, Frankie, and Julian, and that is not the fucking goddamn fucking truth. I don't know where this worthless bitch of this landlord of that is doing this, who's giving this person the information, but what they're doing is they're walking up and down the halls and gradually doing a very poisonous psychological, various different types of techniques to come in my environment in the house to relate and justify, because Sarah Cooper and Ken Cooper were living a secret sex life. They were living a homosexual life, a double life. And they didn't want anybody to know that they were homosexuals. So since Sarah Cooper has some children that were transgenders, all the transgenders and homosexuals want to retaliate against me for saying something about it. So I wanted to make this video that this person is doing this. They're vengefully cutthroating my mother. This is what they're doing this to my mother. Frankie was raped by 10 homosexual fucking men, and I saved Frankie from nearly every single fucking one of these motherfuckers. And this individual down the hall is then trying to portray Frankie's character as, at the same time that they're doing this, I'm inside my room and they're turning on an electronic device and making me shit on command to break my mind down, and then hitting the fucking walls or whatever, hitting the fucking pans in the kitchen, and then electrocuting me so that I become recipient and obedient to a false story and identity to what was going on. So I wanted to make this video on this because I know that my mother, in any good mental state that that she would be in, would dreadfully be crying the fact that this worthless bitch and these motherfuckers are trying to fucking justify and change the story about what is going on. This isn't changing a story for the better. This is a horror story of a worthless, cowardly pieces of shit motherfuckers that they're trying to make into heroes. My immediate family, me, Frankie, and my mother immediately took the blow of everything that's going on for this worthless Asian Filipino piece of shit motherfucker and transgender that's showing up to re-identify Sarah Cooper and that worthless family. And I say this because I don't know who has the power of attorney over my mother, but I know that to this very day, my mother is not in any good mental state whatsoever. And I know that her identical twins, cannot be trusted. This is why I was extracted from my immediate family at such an early age, because Kenneth is the one that drew me away from them, told me not to talk to them, and baited me away from them for so many years without saying anything, because he was justifying the rapes that had happened that Sarah and Ken knew about and never talked about, and he also knew about. So I wanted to make this video because these are the homosexuals and transgenders that come in my home environment, in any place that I live, and anywhere that I am, in order to justify these things and persecute my mother, because they're doing this directly to my mother. My mother is their worthless bitch, and that's why they're doing that, because there's no one to protect her or say what had happened. So I want to make this because my mother's being anally raped, and my mother being raped and brutalized is not their fucking goddamn glory. And this is exactly what these pieces of shit are doing. And this landlord, Tina, is the one that's doing this, along with the other people that are living here. So I wanted to say this. You can hear them closing and slamming the doors, and what they're doing is they're retaliating because they want to change and re-identify this shit, because they're trying to make me into a DJ, and they want to make sure that the DJ equipment and all the other fucking money and popularity that gets delivered to the audience is for their fucking homosexual favors. So I want to say this because of all the rapes and horrors that had happened between me, my brother, and Frankie and my mother. Frankie, my mother, and me. And what happened in that immediate family is not theirs to rearrange for their fucking personal glory. President Barack Obama is the one responsible for charging at me several times at Albertsons and at McDonald's, and I made so many other videos. These are the motherfuckers that are doing this. They are completely erasing the existence, true story, and what I experienced and what my mother experienced for their fucking glory. So I want to make this video desperately out there. They're ripping my mother apart. They're targeting my mother because she's in a very bad mental state and situation. I don't know who is supervising the twins, but someone told me over the phone, insinuating, kind of hinting to me, that everyone is separated, including my mother's identical twins and Julian's twins, to keep the identities or whatever it is to figure out what had happened. This is over $175,000 that these faggots want full control over, and that's why they're coming at me for it, and that's why they're trying to change and make up stories. They were never a part of our life, and they weren't there. None of these people in Sarah Cooper were not there, other than a few threatening, harassing phone calls and approaches when the most tragic situations can happen. So I say this because Kenneth Cooper at the radio station is 100% responsible for luring the situation, because I was there in that environment at the time. I had no idea that these motherfuckers knew about this. And along with David, who was his like little boyfriend or whatever person that was living there. So I say this because Ken Cooper worked for the police department, was a detective, and that's the worst thing that you could ever do as any false law enforcer, is to watch a child get horrifically fucking fucked in his ass and raped, including me being raped and my mother, and not do a goddamn fucking thing but see how much fame and attention and glory you're also going to now change up to get everyone else to do it, to then say, oh, you were a hero. So I want to say this because this is nothing more than a homosexual fucking movement. So, like I said, I care enough about my mother to say something about this. This is what these motherfuckers are doing.